You're dead. You're not gonna build? Like, are you a bot or? Kid sucks. Talking about what trying to do to you. Not you. Yes. Why are your lightsabers and if they put in Is there a really loud noise coming from my mic? It's the fan. My brother is using it. Loud noise coming from my mic. Is it better now? My brother is using it. Loud noise coming from my mic. Is it better now? Is it better now? Is it better now? Huh? Is it better now? Why? No, how are you tired, bro? Y'all are some weak people, bro. Y'all can't even stay up like 5 hours a day. Why you get up at 7 o'clock, huh? It is your fault that you woke up at 7. You could have went right back to sleep.
August 26th.
You stopped being a Fortnite fiend then.
That was the first day of school. Yeah. So we did. That shit was like...
Only wake up at 12 and start playing at 12, or if you wake up after that, start playing after you eat and brush your teeth and do something with your life. Get those minis, bro. Yo, we out. Bro, why are you gay? Talking about
car for bigger budgets.
Yes, I said that.
One of the winners of the qualifiers every single week. So instead of picking a random one, we're just going to do the winners every single week. So that's it. This week, NA East, number 1, the amazing, the indubitable, the amazing Sen Booger. The real one, too. Sen Booger. Yeah.
I'm lying. I'm
Cracked.
dead about it.
Too much.
He's dead about it.
I saw like
I'm being serious.
background of that main subject. Today we're gonna watch. Make sure you do the replay system, but let's make sure we put player outlines, nameplates on.
So many clips like Panakaho. Then the clip of Panakaho. He's a Pinocchio. He's Pinocchio. Wait, hey, oh! She like the way I move. Pop it, film. Yeah, you guys just followed it, bro, for no reason too. Oh, you're gonna have an extra pistol just in your pocket, right? Pocket, right? Look at that, extra sniper in your inventory, right? All you gotta have is green SMG in your inventory with a tag, right? Just because you got a tag don't mean you need an SMG though, right? I was always gonna keep a green pump on you. No, I'd rather take the tag right now. I mean, no, I got SMG. I mean, it's a green tag, a good blue tag actually. So, you know, yeah. Well, I could just take the pump too. Oh, well, I could take both. I mean, with the automatic, let them have his daddy, quick.
You're not sitting here thinking about it, right? Yes, you are. Continue. It ain't hard.
You should do it backward. Yeah.
Did you hear the signs?
Hey, hey. Woo!
What? I called. That's cute. CJ got a tattoo saying magic or something because of her, yeah, Riley. You heard? Riley. The one that's the motivation, the video that I told you. Yes. You see it? I mean, that's the government. That's the government. Yep. No. Okay. What?
You try baking a pie.
Hey guys, so for this video, I want to show off some of the best new drop spots in Fortnite Chapter 2. By now, we're all starting to name landing matches by place. With that being said, let's start with what's in my opinion the best solo landing location on the map. West. More compact version of it. There's still all the cars, the big drive-in movie screen, and smaller buildings around the outside. What makes Risky so good though is the insane amount of loot and materials. In total, there are 10 chests, and because chest spawn rates are now at 100%, all 10 of the chests will spawn every single game. There's also a ton of floor loot, ammo crates, and even a campfire. The cars for max metal in seconds, and everything else for max wood. We're not done yet though. After you finish looting Risky, you can walk towards Frenzy, where you'll find a small little rock circle. On each rock is one chest, bringing the total chest count in this area up to 13. Additionally, there are something like 25 different where you'll find a small little rock circle. On each rock is one chest, bringing the total chest count in this area up to 13. Additionally, there are something like 25 different mushroom spawns for you to get full shield, and rocks and trees to farm if you're not at max materials. Lastly, you can walk through the big bushes because they often have ammo and weapons within them to round out your loadout. The one thing it lacks though is some sort of mobility to rotate with. However, you're basically at the center of the map, so you shouldn't have any problem rotating out on foot and easily getting to zone. Second is my new favorite drop spot called Logjam Woodworks. Upon dropping, see the absurd amount of wood. I'm talking so much wood you can get max in like 5 seconds. Loot-wise, it's also pretty darn good. The main factory has 4 different chests, floor loot spread out all over the place, and an upgrade station. Even outside the main factory, there's one more chest at a smaller building, there's brick walls to get max brick, and there's tons of cars and trucks to get max metal. What I usually do after looting all of that is walk directly east towards Weeping Woods. On the way there, you'll find some mushrooms as well as floor loot and a chest within the cabin. Amazing and rarely ever contested spot. This time, right outside of Lazy Lake. I believe its official name is the EGO Barracks, but it's basically this cool little military base with 3 big bunkers. The first thing you'll notice is that everything is made out of metal. The beds, the fences, the trucks, even the bunkers themselves, they're all metal. This means you can easily get max before people even land on the map. The 2 things that are not metal though are the flag at the center that gives you a ton of wood and the sandbags in the front that for some reason are brick. Regarding chests, there's only 4 chests in total. 1 in each bunker and 1 at the entrance building. The thing is, this is not the only place we're gonna loot. As soon as you get max wood from farming the surrounding trees, rotate directly north to the gas station that's right there. This spot has 3 chests, extra floor loot spawns, even more wooded metal, and most importantly, brick to get you all max mats. I really like this spot because alone, the barrack and the gas station do not have enough loot. It's when you put them together that you get an amazing location with max mats. Last thing to do is to rotate out, which you can do on foot since you are near the center of the map, or you can hop into the river right next to the gas station and swim. 4th is a cheeky spot on the edge of the map behind Sweaty Sands, Fort Crumpet. This giant castle has a total of 7 chests spread among the sides, top, and bottom. It's also very open and surprisingly easy to navigate, which makes looting quick and effortless. All the walls are made of stone, so you can get max brick right there, and there's trees and cannons to get some wood and metal. By itself, that's pretty good for one spot. You should know though, in Papagerians showing a spot, there's always more. If you head south down the hill, you'll come across a little shack with a chest, a boat dock attached to that, and a bunch of big cargo containers. The containers themselves have 3 additional chests. Floor loot are made of metal if you need to farm them, and towards the back, there's a fishing rod spawn so you can fish. By this time, you should have insane loot and max materials, which means it's time to scram and get to zone. All you gotta do is turn around and jump in your own personal motorboat that's been sitting there. Be aware though, if you go south on the boat, you're gonna get stuck on the edge of the map. You're gonna want to go north around Fort Crumpet to go inland through the river. That's why you really gotta pay attention to where the storm is heading when landing here. Number 5 is the first spot I ever landed at in Chapter 2, and that is Hydro 16. It's located right outside of Slurpy Swamp and under the giant dam from the trailer. Inside the main factory building, there are 5 chests hidden behind machinery and in separate rooms. There's also a ton of floor loot and hydro converters that you can farm for metal. Outside, there's even more floor loot and a solid mix of all different materials. You won't get max wood or brick like the other spots, but you should definitely have max metal before you leave. My rotation path is to take the zip line near the dam all the way to the top. There, you'll find 2 mini buildings, each containing 1 chest, and a bridge with cars and floor loot. Where you want to go next is all up to you. Say you're in zone, then you can loot the abandoned houses in the middle of the lake by Misty Meadows. Say you're not though, then you can run by the building where the zip line is, and you'll come across a big patch of mushrooms for shield, as well as rocks and trees to max out your materials. That also happens to be in the direction of the center of the map, so you can then continue on foot to zone. The second to last spot will be a little more contested than the other ones. It's the location right above Frenzy Farms called the Orchard. The reason I say you will probably get contested is because there's like 4 or 5 different houses and barns to loot. This makes it kind of a dangerous spot for potentially 1 or 2 other people to land at with you. Even still, this is a great spot. There's a total of 10 chests, wood pallets for max wood, a campfire, an upgrade machine, and apples all over the place, hence the name, the Orchard. If you land at the first house, you can also get max metal pretty quickly.
It's cold, but I'm hot. Like, yo.
In combat. You can use the multiple dumpsters or haystacks to hide in and surprise whoever else landed with you. Then, after the fight ends, you can heal up on apples by knocking down some of the trees. The fact it's designed as an orchard and you have an almost unlimited amount of apples makes it insanely easy to replenish your health and max. That's why you don't have to be scared to take a fight and outplay the other person there. Lastly, to rotate, I always find myself going straight into Frenzy and seeing if I can third party a fight there. All in all, this spot is one of the few I'll show that most likely and kills. The seventh and final spot is Homely Hills, which lies right above Pleasant Park on the map. Unlike the other POIs, which have pretty unique layouts, Homely Hills is literally just 5 houses. My advice is to land at the yellow one on the right first, and then rotate counterclockwise. That's unless someone lands with you, then you should land on the other side. Reason is, the house on the other side is the only one with 2 chests, while every other one has 1. And you'll see why I recommend landing at the yellow house first in a second. Anyways, each house has 5 to 7 food spawns and a good amount of wood, brick, and metal. You should be able to get max wood from the houses alone, but for max brick, you're gonna need to go past the last house you loot and down near the water. That's why I say to loot it at the end, so you can just drop straight down to the beach. There, you'll come across rock to farm, another chest, and a motorboat to skirt out on. One thing I do before rotating is go to the crash site to check if it's been looted. If it's not, you can get max metal and 3 more chests, bringing the total up to 9. Then, hop back into your boat and go to zone. Overall, those are what I believe are the best landing locations in Chapter 2. I apologize in advance if I exposed one of your spots, but just look at it this way. The more people landing with you is more easy kills and more free shield. So in the end, you're welcome. Seriously though, if this video helped you out, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to each and every one of you using code Jarian. We just hit 400k subscribers on the channel, which is insane to think about. I really do appreciate all of your support. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
We made USAA insurance for busy veterans like Kate. So when her car got hit, she didn't waste any time. She filed a claim on her USAA app and said, that was easy. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to rank the best players from Fortnite Chapter 2. Season 11, or I guess technically Season 1, was supposed to end last week, but Epic actually extended it to the beginning of February. Still, I thought it would be cool to look back at everything that's happened and see who performed the best within that time. That means these rankings are only going to be based on competitions from Chapter 2, not including Winter Royale duos. Lastly, remember that this is my personal opinion and for entertainment purposes only. There's a good chance you'll disagree with me and with who I pick. Just please wait until the end of the video to roast me. So with that being said, let's get into my list. My number 10 spot goes to possibly the most hated pro in all of Fortnite, Young Calculator. As much as you may dislike him from his snarky tweets, you can't deny the kid is a beast. Calc and his squad placed second in the squad FNCS finals on NA East and third in the Week 4 qualifiers. On top of that, Calc is also an elite solo player, most notably placing 4th in the Week 5 Cash Cup and 9th just last week. Now, I will admit this spot can easily go to a bunch of people, including NRG Zate, Cooler Aqua, or even Calc's teammates, TSM Zexro, and my man crush Macwood. However, someone on Reddit ran a statistical analysis of the FNCS Grand Finals and concluded that Calc was the tournament MVP. Not only had the second most kills out of everyone, but also clutched up in nearly all their games. So according to science, Calculator carried on NA's biggest stage, and therefore deserves the spot on my list. Coming in at number 9 is Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage definitely flew under the radar for the last season or two after he did not Mongrel and Benji, as well as the fact he stopped streaming tournaments. However, just because he wasn't in the spotlight does not mean he was not performing well. In solos, Savage won the Week 6 Contender Cash Cup and placed second and third in the Week 3 and 5 Platform Cash Cups, respectively. Plus, considering how much better he plays off-stream versus on-stream, I think he could have easily placed top 5 in other cash cups had he not tried to stream them. In squads, Savage won the $55,000 War Legend Cup, qualified for the FNCS semis, but ultimately missed out on the grand finals by 1 point. All in all, it's clear that Savage is not washed up like the 12-year-old Mongrel fanboys believe. The ridiculously skilled, creative, and 200 IQ Savage we all knew from Season 7 is still there and has shown exactly that this season. Moving on to the 8th best player of Chapter 2, and that is Rex. If you aren't too involved in the competitive scene, you probably haven't heard of Rex before. Main reason being is he plays on NA West. Sorry Western boys, I love you guys, but you know it's true. Regardless, it's never been more evident that he is the best player in that region. Rex placed top 3 in every single squad FNCS qualifier, including winning 2 of the weeks. He also placed second in the semifinals, as well as
Tremfaya helps adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis uncover clear skin that can last. In fact, Tremfaya was proven superior to Humira in providing significantly clearer skin.
Tremfaya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Tremfaya, uncover clearer skin that can last. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
was third in the grand finals. And then maybe his most impressive achievement is his pure dominance in solos. Rex came top 5 in 5 different cash cups, won the Week 4 Platform Cup, and then either came top 10 or top 25 in the rest of them. That kind of consistency is absolutely insane, considering how many pros struggle in solos and say that they're RNG. So, as insane as Epic Whale and Argram have been, it's hard to put anyone above Rex. 7th is Wakey, another fresh talent, this time from EU. If you're wondering why you've never heard of him, that's because he barely posts any content at all. He doesn't really stream, and he only just started putting out YouTube videos. Trust me though, Wakey is a player you do not want to miss out on. He and his squad mates won the FNCS Grand Finals in Europe, bagging a total of $300,000. They also finished 3rd in the Week 4 qualifiers and 1st in their heat. As insane as that all may seem, it's not even close to half of the story. Wakey won the Platform Cash Cup last week, placed 4th at the DreamHack Winter LAN event, above insane players like Benji, Aqua, and Savage, and then finally placed top 7 in 3 other solo cups. So even though he was basically a nobody before Chapter 2, Wakey has quickly proven himself as one of the best players in the world. Next up, at my number 6 spot, is the fan favorite, FaZe Mongrel. As the most OG player on this list, it's pretty incredible to still see Mongrel perform well and remain as a top player. As I've tried to make clear though, this list is all about what's happened in Chapter 2, not last season or all of 2019, wink wink. Anyways, during squads, Mongrel finished 2nd in the FNCS Grand Finals, 3rd in his semi-final heats, 1st in the Week 1 War Legends Invitational, and 3rd in the Week 2 qualifiers. That alone makes anyone within his squad a top player and competitor. Then in solos, he wasn't quite as dominant, but was just as consistent, placing top 15 in 3 different cash cups and top 50 in almost every other one. So while many people may think Benji overshadowed him this season, just watching Mongrel for 5 minutes is enough to know he's still a god-tier player when he's not tilting and wanting to move to Somalia.
If I'm in World Cup qualified this afternoon, I promise, wallahi, I'm breaking everything in my house and moving to in Somalia.
Halfway through, and the 5th spot has to go to the most overlooked FaZe member, Dubs. While not a low-key player by any means, Dubs hasn't streamed or made any content recently. He also hasn't outright won or destroyed in any
No!
of the
Oh, GG! That's so good.
every single week of the FNCS qualifiers. That means no other team placed top 7 in the NA East region each time. Additionally, his squad placed 3rd in the FNCS Grand Finals and 3rd in their semifinal heat. If that's not the definition of consistent, then I don't know what is. Oh, and speaking of consistency, that's the only way to describe Dubs as a solo player. In both the Platform and Contender Cash Cups, he placed top 100 10 different times and 5th just last week. So while he may not be number 1, nobody else was more consistent than Dubs. Coming in at number 4 is the high sense freak of nature, Kanata. Kanata was another no-name before Season X until he popped off with Tfue and made a name for himself. Now in Chapter 2, which is what we care about, he's continued to perform and he also placed top 4 in 2 Platform Cash Cups and top 25 in numerous other ones. That ties him for the total most Chapter 2 Cash Cup wins. Not total across all seasons, but the world total for Chapter 2. Pretty crazy, right? Well, we're not done yet. Alongside Tfue, Kanata placed 7th in the Squad FNCS Finals and 2nd in both the Week 3 qualifier and Team 4 semifinals. Love him or hate him, Kanata undoubtedly has an extremely bright future in competitive Fortnite that I'm extremely excited to follow. 3rd on my list is the Esports Player of the Year, Sen Bugha. After an absolutely crazy last 6 months, which included winning $3 million at the Fortnite World Cup, Bugha has shown that his performance then was not a fluke. Even with all his newfound fame, his dedication to streaming, and traveling to different events, he's remained a top-tier solo and team player in Chapter 2. More specifically, he won the Week 4 Platform Cash Cup, came in 2nd on the same day the week before, finished top 10 3 times, and top 50 4 more times as well. During squads, he also did well as an IGL and helped his team qualify twice for the FNCS semis and finish 1st in their heat. All in all, while his squad may have struggled in the grand finals, you cannot deny his talent as a solo player. When Bugha's in the zone, I truly don't think there's anyone better or more clutch in the world. Moving on, the 2nd best player in the world is, in my opinion, Unknown X Army. Chapter 2 is a breakout season for Unknown when he proved that not only could he dominate in cash cups, but that he could also reign terror in custom tournaments against other pros. Unknown won 3 cash cups in the last 11 weeks alone, placed top 10 another 3 times, and placed 5th on keyboard and mouse. In case you didn't know, Unknown is a controller player that also plays mouse and keyboard, and as great as he is on both inputs, I honestly think he would have won more cups if he played them all on controller. For reference, he played 5 of them on mouse and keyboard. Anyways, in squads, his team won the FNCS Grand Finals and brought home more than $187,000 in total. So while you may think he's just another outstanding WP player,
Bro, let me live. Like, it's not that serious. Oh.
and talented players alive. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the best player of Fortnite Chapter 2 is without a doubt Benji Fishy. This placing 2nd in the grand finals. Outside of Unknown, nobody in the world was as dominant in both solos and squads. Now, the reason I chose Benji over Unknown simply comes down to Benji being a more well-rounded player. Not only can Benji WP and push everyone like Unknown, but he can also sit back and play for placement, which is Unknown's biggest weakness. Overall, guys, those are, in my opinion, the top 10 players of Fortnite Chapter 2. If you enjoyed the video, then do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jarian. I really do appreciate all the support. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys next month. Later.
Money back. Yeah, I got a quarter in running back. Yeah, now I'm a quarter running back. Yeah, I'm a quarter running back. Yeah, I'm a quarter running back. Money back.
Sprint's holiday deals are so big, I need help spreading the word. Snowman Ball here. Hurry in and switch to save your family money on the Samsung Galaxy S10 for just $0 a month. $0 a month? I was literally built for this.
Way to say goodbye to this chapter of Fortnite than by recapping each season and its best player. Now, before you flame me about my choices, just know this is mainly for entertainment purposes. It's really hard to declare one singular best player in a battle royale, and it's even harder not to put one player for multiple seasons. Still, I'm gonna do my best to choose a different player for each and give concrete reasoning behind who I choose. So, with that being said, let's start all the way back in Season 1 with a player many of you know of, Mr. Grims. Grims is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber that absolutely dominated in Fortnite at its infancy. This was way back when nobody knew how to build or edit, and I mean nobody. People played Fortnite like every other battle royale at the time, meaning the skill gap was primarily aiming and positioning. Those just happen to be the two things Grims excels at. Coming into Fortnite, Grims' overall gun skill and game sense was way ahead of his time. The man was dropping 20 bombs in November of 2017. For some reference, most people, including me, hadn't even started playing yet. Meanwhile, Grims was out there wiping squads and putting on an absolute clinic. Unfortunately though, Grims was never that big of a fan of building, and he really disliked all the bugs in the game. As time progressed, he eventually stopped playing completely, only returning once every few months to check in. Still, his dominance during Season 1 will never be forgotten. Moving on to Season 2, and I think we can all agree who the best player was. TSM Myth. Myth was another player that was truly ahead of his time. Rather than relying on his raw aim and gun skill, Myth started to master building and editing before it became the norm. This was around the time when the average Season 2 player was just beginning to build walls and ramps for protection. Myth, on the other hand, was using his build strategically, getting high ground over people, making smart edits, and outplaying people without even shooting at them. Fundamental techniques like ramp rushes and scissor ramps that we all take for granted, Myth actually invented. Maybe his most infamous strategy, though, was just sitting and camping in a 1x1. This passive playstyle allowed him to consistently win solo games and hold the #1 spot on the leaderboard for wins. Myth did try his hand at competitive in later seasons, but he slowly gravitated towards focusing on content. Regardless, Myth will always be known as a pioneer of building and for helping to establish the competitive Fortnite scene. Next up is Ninja, who I think deserves the title of Best Fortnite Player in Season 3. Ninja was one of the first players to have the full package in terms of skill. His aim was top tier, his building was amazing at the time, and he was incredibly smart in game. What really set him apart though was his ability to slay out and drop high kill games with ease. I kid you not, He would push everyone he saw and would win every single fight he got into. This is a big reason he got so big on Twitch. Simply put, he did not need to sit in a tower like Mint did to farm wins. He was good enough to play aggressive and still come out on top. The craziest part is that Ninja continues to be a top player to this day. Yeah, he doesn't focus on competitive, but he was 2 points off qualifying for the World Cup. And I guarantee if he put the time in to practice and to play competitively, he could easily be the best player in the world. Now, Season 4 is where it starts to get a little harder to choose the best player. In my opinion, though, it goes to another TSM member, Hamlin's. Reason being is Hamlin's mechanics were bar none at the time, except for maybe Mongrel, but we're saving him for later. Season 4 was when people started to focus more on the speed and quickness of their builds. As a result, build battles became popular and the meta. Hamlin's was one of the fastest and smoothest builders during this time, so for obvious reasons, he excelled. On top of that, Season 4 was also when double pumping was a thing, and Hamlin's was by far one of the best double pumpers around. Those two skills combined made Hamlin's one of the scariest players to fight against, and helped him win solo scrims against other pros like Jownlock, Chap, and Myth. So, even though Hamlin's felt the content creating dark side, I could not think of a more talented and skilled player back in Season 4. Halfway through, and Season 5 is another difficult choice. But for the sake of having a different best player each season, my choice is Ghost Bizzle. When it comes to competitive Fortnite, Bizzle is one of the all-time greats. He found a ton of success during the summer skirmish, which of course took place in Season 5. During those 10 weeks, Bizzle was extremely consistent and placed second in 3 of them. One of them happened to be the first ever Epic-sponsored LAN event, PAX West, where Bizzle won $180,000. That launched him up the ranks and made him the highest earning pro Fortnite player at the time. The main reason I think he was the best during that time, though, was because this was the first real test for competitive players. No longer was skill based on pub stomping or speculation. It all came down to who could perform the best in tournaments, and Bizzle undoubtedly did that. So, while he hasn't made too much noise recently, his game sense alone will help him stay at the top for years to come. On to Season 6, and you're probably wondering, where the hell is Tfue? Well, here he is. Tfue, in many people's minds, is the one true GOAT. He's been a top player since the beginning of the game, and was the first person to truly outplay Ninja back in Season 3. However, the fall skirmish in Season 6 was when we really saw Tfue's full potential. Tfue won the Week 2 and Week 4 solo competitions, which were arguably the 2 hardest solo tournaments back then. On top of that, Tfue and Cloaksy won the Week 6 LAN event at TwitchCon and brought home over $500,000. That kind of consistency in solos, duos, online, and on LAN is ridiculous for any game, let alone Fortnite. So it's hard to deny how good he is when he's on his A game. To this day, Tfue remains a top competitor and puts up a strong argument for the best player of all time. Season 7 is a toss-up between Zexro and Mr. Savage, but since I haven't been fair to my EU brethren, let's focus on Mr. Savage. Season 7 Mr. Savage was before he used a face cam, and before he was actually allowed to play in Epic tournaments. Since he was only 14, he couldn't get invited to events. The only thing he could compete in was the Open Qualifiers. In the Winter Royale Open Qualifier, Savage placed second in the hardest region in the world, and in the EU Pop-Up Cups, he consistently placed at the top, including when he set the record for the most points in a solo Pop-Up Cup. Savage's success came from a combination of his insanely fast mechanics and his ability to consistently outplay people. Every game I watched him play in seemed like a highlight reel because of how smart and 200 IQ he was. Luckily for Savage, the age restriction on competitive Fortnite was lifted months later, and he has since gone on to win nearly $200,000 in prize money. For Season 8, I'm gonna have to go with Misfits Clicks. Clicks was pretty much a nobody at the beginning of Season 8. He was signed by Misfits, but nobody really knew a lot about him. That was until the World Cup qualifiers came around, where Clicks qualified for the World Cup 5 separate times, including 3 times for solos and 2 times for duos. The reason I think he was so good was because of how far ahead he was of the meta. Clicks knew how important box fighting and turtling was becoming, so Clicks went out and focused on W keying and box fighting. When you give 0 ping to the best box fighter in the world and put him up against players who are not used to getting W keyed, well, Season 8 Clicks is what you get. Moving on to more recent times, and there's a clear winner for Season 9, Send Bugha. Bugha flew under most people's radars for a majority of Season 9. We got a little glimpse of his true potential after he placed first in the first week of the World Cup qualifiers. Still though, most people labeled him as a 0 ping warrior and thought he'd choke on LAN. Bugha, like the animal he is, actually did the opposite and won the Solo World Cup by 26 points. He nearly doubled second place in points in the most stacked and competitive event ever. That World Cup win netted him $3 million and made him the highest earning Fortnite player in the world. If somehow that's not enough to sell you on how good he is, just go and watch the kid. He's easily one of the fastest builders and editors in the world. In my mind, there's absolutely nobody you can put over him for Season 9. Season 10 though, there's one player who I've been purposely leaving out until now. FaZe Mongrel. Mongrel is another contender for the best player. Time. He's got aimbot-like aim, his building and editing are faster than any creative warriors, and he is always performing well in tournaments. We saw that especially in Season X with the Fortnite Championship Series. Mongrel's trio won 3 weeks, placed second in another 2 weeks, and won 2 cash cups as well. They didn't do too well in the finals, but to most people, Mongrel and his trio were the scariest to face. So as long as Mongrel keeps grinding and putting in as many hours as he does, I honestly think he will be the greatest Fortnite player ever. Overall, those were who I think are the best players from each season. Remember boys, this was made for entertainment purposes. I didn't want to put Mongrel as the best player for like 6 seasons in a row, so I tried to do a different player for each. Please don't roast me too hard. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Thank you to everyone using code Jarian. Make sure you guys let me know if you use my code on the new Battle Pass. This way I can shout you out in the next video. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Dad promised, but now they have to move again. All because of his job.
corn and all. That's what you get, bro. It's just that what you get. You're dead. You're dumb as well.
Talking, baby.
You know, that ecstasy. Bam. Clap, clap. Good. Dang. Bam! 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 And the easiest of us in the world, at least I play on NAE because they got book on it. Alright, next one's last now. I can't move, bro. What?